Yo, what's shaking YouTube? Piper Downs coming back with you. As promised, we're going to pop open this tin of Bengal slices. Been dying to try this stuff, guys. See how it goes. What the heck? Jeez, this one was on good. I had to damage the tin practically. Okay, so that is our presentation. Not very crazy. They're not very, awesome anyway. Huh. And they put like a little piece of plastic. Oh, man. Holy crap. I've never seen a freaking flakelet look like that. The closest that I can think that it looks like is either Penzance or plum pudding. Nice thick slices too. Look at that, man. Super thick slices. Let me see if one will come out without damaging it. Well, it's just going to come out. It's three thick slices like plum pudding. But it's actually holding together pretty well. But man, look at that. Ooh. Look at that big old thick piece of brown piece of Virginia there. Oh, man. Look at that. It looks like a plug or something. Man, what a killer presentation. I mean, the wax paper didn't look all that great, but the actual tobacco itself looks really good. It's like almost like a really coarse cut. Really. But man, and it has a much sweeter smell to it than Penzance, I think. It must be because apparently there is some black Cavendish in here. It's like a sweeter version of plum pudding. Yeah, whatever, they put some kind of a topping on there. And whatever that is, it's changing it from, like I said, I can tell this smells very close to plum pudding. But there's a top note on it that kind of mixes it up. But this is like a cross between Penzance and plum pudding with a sweet top note. Got a couple of kind of busted up pieces here, a couple little pieces that come off. And I can see some sugar crystallization on it. But man, you can see it's very coarse, they're thickly cut. It's basically a plug that they cut. A plug that they cut up. But rather than messing with this beautiful plug here, or these beautiful slices, I'm just going to pour out everything else, which should be about enough for a bowl. About enough to give this guy a shot, or at least give it get a first impression. Jeez, this tin is way too big for a tobacco like this. That's just unnecessary. There's a lot of movement, going on when you're handling the tin before you open it. Oh, what the hell? But yeah, this is. Let me see if I can show it. I don't know if I can get it without it wanting to spill here. There we go. Just good looking tobacco. let's see, we'll go ahead and, I would have to say that this is like smokable right now. This isn't overly wet at all. And it still had its vacuum, so it's not like it, dried out. So they basically, I think the moisture content of this is ready to smoke. They do that on purpose, probably. They probably want you to jar it up right when you get it. It's at like the perfect moisture content. Oh man, it's just like a crumbly, coarse tobacco. Very coarse. I'm trying to think what else this reminds me of. I mean, pretty much Penzance is what this has reminded me of. Penzance with a sweet top note. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this up. I guess I will put it in that Falcon like I was, or you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it in my mirror lined, because that's kind of like, I typically like to do my first impressions out of my meerschaum lined Gribot, just because, for purity's sake, for that reason and that reason only, just because, I'd prefer, to get it as untainted as possible, which, man, I guess I've just been neglecting cleaning this thing out, because it's not how smooth it should be in there. I think I just have been kind of lazy on the cleaning, which you kind of do have to stay on top of these meerschaums. You don't want to build up a carbon cake in there. You want it to stay, you want it to be bare meerschaum, basically. Otherwise it would defeat the purpose of the meerschaum. You'd end up getting the ghosting, or you'd end up getting flavors passed in your present bowl, which I would prefer to not. That's why I got a meerschaum, was basically so I could do first impressions and stuff, because I don't really have any good cobs right now. I have a General, but I don't know. I need to get another Missouri Pride, because that was probably one of the best pipes that I've ever had, really. And I like the naked ones. I don't like them when they do the plastering, when they fireproof it with the plaster. I don't like those. I like them raw. I think they're cooler in the hand. They feel better in the hand. They're not as hot. They don't get as hot. Although supposedly they're a little bit more susceptible to burnout, or to burning through and stuff. And actually, that particular cob, what ended up killing it was, I was trying to clean it out with a pipe tool, and I punched a hole right through the bottom of it, because it isn't a wood plug. It doesn't have a hardwood plug. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pack this up and get ready for a pipe. Back here, more than halfway through this bowl of Bengal slices. I must say, I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. It's so good. Burns cool. No tongue bite. No chance of tongue bite for me, anyway. It's very similar to Penzance and plum pudding, but it's sweeter. It's got a little bit more of a sweetness to it that I really, really like. It's really good. Almost a little Frogmorton-y. Just a tad Frogmorton-y. Kind of has that savory Frogmorton characteristic to it. Smoke is nice and cool. It's got an absolute ton of flavor. I can definitely taste the sweetness that the Cavendish imparts. Smoky, sweet, creamy. Burns really, really well. Really well. Very even. Coming down to a nice, fine white ash, looks like to me. Now, I know this stuff's been rather hard to come by lately, but if you can get yourself a tin of this stuff, guys, I would definitely suggest it. Especially if you're a fan of Penzance, Plum Pudding, Quiet Nights. This should be pretty much right up your alley. And I must say, speaking of Quiet Nights, that this and Quiet Nights are like right up there together for me. It's like Quiet Nights is drier than this is. It's not as sweet. That's what I mean by dry. It's a little bit, it's not bitter, but it's dry. It's just not it's not nearly as sweet as this. It's more, a little bit more sharper. This is a little round, it has more of a roundness to it. It's just sweet, smoky. Definitely like being around a campfire. This is good enough. I could smoke this. You know, I could probably smoke this every day. I mean, this would be definitely would be a go-to English for me. I mean, I guess you could say it's a lap balm, but I don't know. It's very balanced. The Latakia definitely, I would say the Latakia does dominate, but there's so much else, there's so much other stuff going on. Like I said, there's this really sweet, savory, it's a really full, round flavor. The nicotine is pretty good. It's not skimped on the nicotine for sure. It's definitely got a decent bit in there. It's very similar to Penzance, but it's just a little sweeter. Man, you know, I haven't been all that big of a fan of the Standard Tobacco Company. I haven't really tried much of their stuff, but I've kind of shied away from their stuff. That and Russ Roulette. I've been kind of shying away from his stuff, but the Bengal slices, because it's been so hard to come by, and because I've tried Penzance and I really like the crumble cakes, the mottled flake, that I've really started to, I really just decided, you know, really wanted to try it. You know, at first I wasn't too worried about it, but after a while of seeing it not in stock and hearing good things about it, I just really wanted to try it, and I'm not disappointed at all. This stuff is awesome. I mean, that guy Russ Roulette, he kicks ass, man. He makes good blends. I haven't had White Knight yet. which is one of his other tribute blends, as well as Fusilier's Ration. I haven't had that one, which I may have to get that one now. But man, I really do like this. Very good. It's better than plum pudding, I think. Whatever the top note is, it's really nice. It's really nice. But I can definitely taste the Cavendish, because plum pudding and the Bengal slices have the Cavendish added, the black Cavendish, whereas Penzance doesn't. And there's a flavor that Bengal slices and plum pudding share. So I would imagine that's got to be, there's a sweetness that they share. So that has to be the Cavendish. And it's something that you don't get in the Penzance. And clearly you can tell, you know, that it's the Cavendish that's doing that, that's making it, giving it this characteristic sweetness that reminds me of the plum pudding. It's awesome. I would suggest you guys picking up a tin if you can get a hold of it. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm just about down to the bottom of the bowl here, and pleased as pudding about it. But anyway, till next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first impression, because I would imagine some of you are just like me, really wanting to know what the heck this blend was all about. But, you know, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and till next time, Piper Downs over and out.